All right. What I'd like you guys to do right now, we're going to go into chapter 3, section 4, solving absolute value equations. Right now, I'd like you, this should be a review for you, find the absolute value of -3, the absolute value of +5, and the absolute value of 0. So take a minute to do that. Should be a nice review for you from probably pre-algebra, algebra 1, somewhere in there. All right. See a couple of you jumped on the last few seconds here. Right now, everyone is just finding the absolute value of these three numbers, -3, +5, and 0. All right. So as we go through these, this should be just a quick review warm-up. These are absolute value symbols. Two lines going vertically up and down. No bracket looking things on the end of them. It's straight vertical lines. Look like a set of parallel lines. Let's see if we can find someone who's willing to take a shot at what the absolute value of -3 is. Caleb, how about you? What's the absolute value of -3?
3.
3, nailed it. All right. Ben, how about absolute value of 5?
5.
Well done. Well done. All right. Absolute value. The misconception sometimes is that you change the sign. So sometimes people go 5 becomes -5. Not true. You guys nailed it. The definition for absolute value is the distance a number is from 0. So if I put, say, my 0 right here, right, and this is 5, and this is -3, the distance both of them are from 0 is a positive number. It's just the distance. All right. For example, if you were to drive to St. Paul, it's about 10 miles away. And if you came home, St. Paul back to Cottage Grove, it would not be -10. It's 10 miles each way. You drove a total of 20 miles. It's a distance. The absolute value of 0 is obviously 0 because it's 0 units from 0. All right. This should be a quick review for you. We're going to get into solving here in a second. Before we do that, does anyone have any homework questions from yesterday that they want to go over before I move on? All right, I'm not seeing anything in the chat, so we'll move on. Just a quick review. Today we're working 3.4. Tomorrow will be 3.5. It's going to have some similarities to today. And then we'll review Monday, test Tuesday, and that'll be the end. We are down to 4 class days left. Some of you need to get caught up pretty quick here. Please do that. Please do that. We had pretty good luck. First hour, people not getting bounced out. We had a handful. Once again, if you have another laptop or something at home that you can use to do this on, it might be better. But we're going to keep plugging forward here. We got an equation here. It says solve. Solve for the absolute value of x equals 6. So we're looking for the number that we can plug in for x to make this a true statement. I want you to think about that for a minute before you answer and let us know what you think the answer is to this equation. All right. Before we had expressions, now we have equations with an equal sign in them. We're solving for x. All right. Let's see if we can get some volunteers here so I don't have to call on people. X is equal to what? Anybody want to take a shot at it?
6 maybe.
6 works, yep. Anybody else want to take a crack at it?
-6.
-6. All right. There are 2 possible numbers that are going to make that true. 6 and -6. The kicker is the -6. What you're going to find today is every problem is going to have 2 answers. But don't get in the habit of solving the equation going 6 and then whatever this is, just taking its opposite. What you're going to find out really quick is it's going to be like 6 and -12. Most of them are not going to be this easy, especially when you add on addition inside that absolute value. All right. We have 2 problems we're going to go through today, and they're not mind blowing. They're pretty simple. If you know how to solve an equation, these are going to go fairly smooth for you. All right. Difficulty level is going to go up a little bit on this first one. Okay, here's example 2. Switch to my black marker. Absolute value, 3x plus 8 is equal to 23. All right, don't do anything right now, just get it written down. All right, so what we're looking for is 2 different numbers. We're looking for a number that we can plug in for x, that when I multiply by 3 and add on 8, I'll get a 23. But I'm also looking for a number that when I plug it in for x, multiply by 3, and add an 8, I get a -23. That one's a little bit more challenging. So what we do is we set up 2 separate equations, all right? And in order to do this, we have to make sure the absolute value is by itself. The next example I give you, there's going to be a number out here being multiplied, and something being added or subtracted onto the end of this absolute value, in which case you need to get rid of them before we solve. So my first equation I'm going to write 3x plus 8 equals 23. Then I'm going to write a second equation, 3x plus 8. I leave the left side just like I see it, but then I change the right side to equals -23. At this point, we're going to solve both equations individually. So go ahead and do that right now. I'll give you about 3 minutes to do that. All right. So let's solve these individually. These are just normal algebra equations. You guys should be ready to go on. Here we go. Here we go. Who wants to take a shot? Let's see. What should we do next? Anybody? Chase, what should we do first to get x by itself? All right. That's from Chase. How about Damien? Damien, what do you think we should do to get x by itself?
Subtract 8.
Subtract 8. Yep. I'm going to do it to both equations at the same time, kind of speed things up. Okay. Subtract 8, both sides of both equations. We will get 3x equals negative 31. Over here, I'll get 3x equals 15. All right. Now, like I said, on test day, the biggest mistake is people get an answer for this one and they just write the opposite number. So next step here, here we go. Jaden, what do you think we should do now to get x by itself? Got me, Jaden? Oh, it looks like she got bounced out. Maya, you want to help her out?
Divide by 3.
Divide by 3.
I got wiped out.
Looks like your sister got bounced out by Google Meets. So as I divide here, the 3's will cancel. We'll get x equals 5. And once again, don't make the mistake of going 5 and negative 5. As we see over here, a lot of times the second one might not work out as well. I'm going to get negative 10 1/3 or negative 10.3 repeating, whichever one works. So once again, if I were to plug 5 back in, I would get a 23. If I were to plug this one in, I would get a negative 23. The absolute value makes both of them 23. If you do get bounced out, I'm recording this, and I'll put it on Schoology later, just so you know. So if you miss a minute or two in there and you want to go back, it will be there for you. All right, next example. Like I said, I'm going to give you something out here and something out here, and we have to get rid of them before we solve. Am I good to erase this? Does anybody have any concerns before I erase this? All right. Here we go. Last example of the day. Example 3. I got 5. Absolute value, 2x plus 6 minus 13 equals 47. So I'm going to write something on the board. I don't want you to write it down, but I want you to think about it like this. I want you to think of this absolute value like a giant x. So 5x minus 13 equals 47. Don't write this down. I want you to realize, ask yourself, what would I need to do to get this absolute value by itself as if this were an x? Well, most are going to go, okay, well, we'll add 13 to both sides, then we'll divide by 5. That's what we're going to do up here to simplify it. And then after we've done that, then we break it into 2 equations. So I'm going to erase that silly little line I got here. And I'm going to add 13. I don't like that green marker. Add 13 here and here. My equal sign comes down. Right side, 47 plus 13 is 60. 13's cancel. I'm going to get 5. Absolute value, 2x plus 6. And we're one step closer to being able to solve. We're still not there. We're still in the simplifying step. Once again, it's being multiplied by right here. So we're not distributing. Don't make that mistake. Divide by 5 here and here. 5's cancel. I'm going to get absolute value of 2x plus 6 equals 12. At this point, we have the absolute value by itself. Now make your two equations and finish the problem. Give you about 2-3 minutes to do that. All right. Once again, this is the most important part that you separate and make two equations. 2x plus 6 equals 12. 2x plus 6 equals negative 12. So as I do this, I'm going to do them both at the same time. And you guys showed last time, you kind of know what's going on here. So opposite of adding 6, I'm going to subtract 6. I'm going to stop using red. Subtract 6. Both sides. I get 2x equals 6. Over here, I get 2x equals negative 18. You see pretty quickly that we're going to get different numbers. Divide by 2, I get x equals 3. Divide by 2, I get x equals negative 9. Two solutions. Once again, if I plug 3 in, I work all this out, I'll get a positive 47. And that one will work, so we end up with a positive 47 in the very end after we do the absolute value. All right. Does anyone have any questions or concerns about this one? All right. Just so you know, those of you that have gotten bounced out, you will show up in the attendance thing, so don't worry about that. I get a spreadsheet, and it shows who's joined, and as long as you were there for more than a minute at one point, it should put you in there. But bear with us as we're still figuring this out. Once again, if you have a different laptop or something at home, it might be better to use that so you don't get bounced out. Once again, if you got things that need to get turned in, if you're turning in stuff late from other chapters, please email me and let me know that so I can go back and grade those. I don't get a notification, so if you don't tell me, I don't go back and grade them. I'll be online 1:10 to 1:40 today if you have any questions. please let me know, and I'll see you then. If you have simple questions you want to email me, I can try and respond, but the easiest way is actually seeing it. All right, I'll be on for a few more minutes for those of you who want help. Otherwise, have a great day. Oh, and try and get those homework assignments done as quick as you can and turned in.
I have a question, Mr. Leonard.
Okay?
So for the test 2.3, 2.4,
Yep.
I had like work that day, and then when I took it, I like started it, and it was like halfway through, and then I got kicked out of it.
Okay.
I was just wondering if you could reopen that for me.
Yep. Who is it, Alex?
It's Aiden.
Aiden. Okay. Yep. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Give me
All right,
about
thank
give me about 10 minutes, and I'll get it open for you.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks.
Yep.